This is my crossing from the south of Dominica, from Juan Michel, where I start, pass over the Soufriere Bay and Scott's Head, venture out into the channel that brings me to Martinique, where I spent my first night at sea, right about there somewhere. There is Dominica still behind me. Good morning from the south of Dominica. I arrived here yesterday. I'm near Scott's Head. It is drizzling a little bit right now. The sky is covered. I'm looking at a little bit of clouds with rain, distant squalls. This is going to be an interesting sail, like all my sails. My anchor hold out really good, and although I was not sure of this anchorage, I'm glad I anchored here. Now I can venture off into the horizon. Squall, squall, squall. I'm gonna go there. I am sailing. I have my hull main up in the covered sky of Dominica. This is where I slept at the base of this mountain. I am sailing towards Scott's Head, and behind me you can see the south village of Dominica. Half an hour later, the breeze picked up a little bit, and I am able to leave the place that I slept yesterday night in Dominica. It pays out to wait. Not that I can do anything else. I'm a sailboat. I have to wait on the wind. Blink, blink. There's a squall there. And there's the breeze. I'm gonna cry. I'm looking at some clouds over the channel. There's clouds. I've started the motor, and I'm gonna motor myself out of this place at least until the channel, so that I have a little bit of wind. There's nothing there, just a little bit of rain. That. And it didn't even come with wind. I'm gonna motor out in the channel. Slow morning on board. I am motoring my way out of Dominica. I have no wind, and I'm about to pass Scott's Head. We might have hiked right there in the opening. You see this now when I'm at sea, and I remember seeing it from the mountains, seeing the boats passing by, and now I'm here and I see where I passed, these mountains. Passing Scott's Head and Soufriere Bay in Dominica, motoring my way out because there's no wind. The reparation I did held. The pulley works out, and it puts my furler line nicely inside the furler. A 9 o'clock update from my passage from Dominica to Martinique. For the last hour I had little to no wind, so I motored a little bit to get out. It was a lake up until now, and now I have a little bit of breeze. You can see Scott's Head and the Soufriere Bay of Dominica with a little bit of breeze. The spirits are high as always before a passage. Goodbye, Dominica. These are my conditions sailing out of Dominica. There's a little bit of covered sky and squall. The wind comes from there, and I have to go there. This huge cloud coming. because over there I have two boats ahead of me, a catamaran and a monohull. There is no wave yet. Scott's Head. 1.5 hours later, I am still here outside of Scott's Head, and I barely see Martinica. I had a squall, it came, and I decided to put down all my mainsail. I turned on the jib, I put down my mainsail. Then I kind of got pushed out to sea because I opened my jib and I couldn't make head for Martinica. I was going out to sea, and then I decided to open up my two sails again after the squall passed. Now I am sailing with full main and my jib. The 11 o'clock update from my passage. Look, I can hear them in the boat. They're so loud, I can hear them. It was right in my bow. A dolphin, my first dolphin of the trip. I've never seen dolphins this trip. Vanished. There is Dominica still behind me. And that out there, I have the autopilot that is doing a great job. It's gonna take a nap.
Glanced quickly at the other two. I told you, that's Melinra's work.
Cooking is happening. There are some things that on board that we don't talk about. We don't talk about it. It comes with waves, no wind, and cooking down below. Anyway, this is what I came up with. Like some rice, lentils, and I came up here to eat my meal looking on Martinique and having some fresh air. Twink, twink. So I ate something. It's one. And now I decided to look ahead towards Martinica and steer for a while. No comment there. There's little wind. I'm not gonna say no wind. There's little wind. I've been feeling kind of sick the last 2 hours, so on board is like a taboo, like rabbits or something. This is the 2 o'clock update from my passage from Dominica to Martinica. Behind me you can see Dominica. It's still very visible. And there is Martinica. In the last hour, I have almost had a situation on board, but it hasn't developed to one, and I'm very happy it didn't. It is covered. It stayed overcast this whole time, which is good because I'm not getting all that sun on my face till I'm all covered up, and I don't really have a lot of wind. So being 2 o'clock, I'm still quite far away from Martinique, and I hope I'm going to make there before sunset. If I make it before sunset, I will swim for 1 hour. No, I won't. I'm glad that my situation didn't develop to a situation at all. Like rolly. Although there's no waves, still it's rolly. Martinica looks even further away. Three o'clock update from my passage from Dominica to Martinique. I'm in the middle of the channel. Conditions wise, it's been a little bit too little wind. I'm sailing with a full main and full jib. There were dolphins on this passage. General concern on board right now. I'm not going to be able to make it to land before sunset. I still have 2 hours of sunlight, so if I'm going to get a little bit more wind, I'm maybe going to make it. Everything else is holding well. I've ate and I've cooked on this passage. Looking at the sea, looking at the waves, enjoying this beautiful day at sea. That's going to be a beautiful date night. There's no fishing nets here in the channel, so it seems like the best place to spend the night. I spend my days sailing. I spend my days out at sea, looking at the waves, looking at the sky. I spend my nights at anchor somewhere in these islands in the Caribbean. And I do want to remember this because I feel I'm living the happiest time of my life. I'm looking at the waves the whole day and spend my time at sea.
There's a magic that happens at sea. Whenever I leave a place and I know that I might never go back to that place again, looking into the horizon and what the next islands will bring just makes this freedom at sea something very special.
The 4 o'clock update from my passage from Dominica to Martinique. Dominica is the island behind me. This is Martinique up ahead. Usually at this time I like over on anchor tonight when the light will be off, which means at 6. The last hour the wind was constant. The wave helped and making slow progress. Update from my passage from Dominica Martinique. In half an hour, I'm going to get ready to put down the mainsail, get ready for the night. I'll spend the night at sea. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go back to the channel or continue down Martinique. It's most probable that I'll continue down Martinique. Put down the mainsail and continue slow with the jib, so that I can get some rest. Rest overnight. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Boat is ready. I'm not ready. What up? What up? What up? I'm gonna do it anyway. Trust my brain. It is 6 o'clock and I am in Martinique. I made it. There's, I think, where we slept with the guys, and there is Grand Riviere. There is insanity back there. There's waves and there's wind and there's like this rapid breaking waves right at the entrance of the island. So now I have to decide if I go anchor on blind. I still have 4 miles until my anchorage place, so it will be on blind, or I spend the night at sea. What will it be? Coucou, je suis arrivée à Martinique. C'est Grand Rivière et je crois qu'on a dormi par là. Là c'est un cerron. Et là, c'est la perle. Là-bas. Je suis arrivée trop tard et je crois que je vais rester en mer parce que je ne veux pas y aller dans le quand c'est noir. J'ai encore 4 milles. Ciao. This is beautiful. It is so silent now that the wind calmed down and the waves. I can hear the waves arriving at the beach. I think I'm gonna spend the night outside. Although I'm seeing 3 boats that are anchored in some little bays in front of me, I think I'm just gonna keep it safe. This is so beautiful. I've tucked in my sail, my mainsail, and I'm continuing only with the jib tonight. This is sailing in the sunset. It's gonna be night very soon. I have to watch out for that rock. Pretty visible over now. My avionics. You can't see me, but that's the moon. I'm having dinner by the moonlight and the stars. I'm spending my first night at sea